Come on, you guys. We are the sons of no one, bastards of young. You gotta do better than Buffalo. We are the sons of no one, bastards of young. The daughters and the sons of a stylist. Get that guitar style from beating people up at the pyramid. All right, we're here. We're doing a show. It's the middle of fucking summer.
Yeah!
Yeah, we've been out for a long time. I've been on the road for 14 months, but you know what? We get free beer. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's fun. They say, like, the good thing about being on tour is you don't always know what day of the week it is. Sometimes, like, you ask somebody, what day is it? Oh, you know, Friday, we're off, and it's Monday, and it's like New Year's Eve, and you met somebody, it's Christmas, and then one day you gotta go wake up, and my old bass player, Johnny Paisano, used to say, every job has its Mondays. We had a couple Mondays this last couple weeks. But we're very happy to be here tonight, and radio or no radio, they're gonna do a live concert, and they're gonna broadcast my music to all these people in the tri-state area. And then Clear Channel steps in and buys them and they go out of business. Well, you know what? We're going to have a good time anyway. I'm going to do my, I was talking to people that work with Fred Rogers. You guys familiar with Mr. Rogers? I believe he invented emo-core, a phase of 10 years ago. It was a very big thing that kids got into. And Mr. Rogers was big because he was a vegan. He wore deck shoes. He was a pacifist, and he would say, can you say dashboard confessional? Can you say Jonah? Anyway, we're going to get down tonight, like Steve Martin said, let's get small together here on the floors. I've prayed here before, I've prayed in the toilets, I've prayed in the synagogues of Nazi Germany. I spoke to the Tibet people. I worked with the Beastie Boys. I even had reverb once. What can I tell you about my band? You know what? This is a funny bit. I started doing this a year after September 11th. They made me play at the Bowery Ballroom. I didn't know what to do. So I said, everybody's got to sit down. We got to have a moment. We need people to join us. Krebs, I know you got in for free tonight. Those pants. Tresh and Vaudeville's got a nice selection this year. I used to do this and see how many people I could get on the floor. Being such an anarchist, right? I would tell people what to do. But, you know, it became a thing where I didn't know what to do. People got to sit down. And somebody came up to me and they said, did you get that sit-down thing from Bruce Springsteen? Yeah, he made everybody sit down in a giant stadium. But there was a band called TSOL years ago, and I read about it in a magazine. They were playing on Sunset Strip at SIR Studios in Los Angeles, and it was this crazy mosh pit, and the cops were coming in to beat everybody up. And Jack, the singer from TSOL, said, everybody sit down on the floor. Everybody sat down, the cops came in ready to kill everybody, and they were all sitting there, a bunch of fucking skinheads and fucking punk rockers. Well, anyway, I want to introduce my band tonight. On the bass, we've been in the band a long time. I know a lot about this guy. I'll only give you the highlights, because that's all there is. This man carries his own road case full of hot sauce. This man has OCD, so his suitcase is tighter than anybody else's in the band. He can move like Paul Simonon, you better if you play the bass. He can smile like David Cassidy. My favorite bass player in the world, Mr. Johnny Martin from LA. Hey, Regina, you're gonna join us down here in the pool? All right. in the back, there's a guy playing the piano, but he can play everything except bringing his passport to Canada. We were trying to get into Canada. This guy forgot his passport, and he had to, like, say, beg his girlfriend, like, get to FedEx, make this shit happen, so we can get into Canada, because it's a really special country. They got all the shit going on there.
Yo, Gwen!
This man actually lives in Brooklyn, New York, and he's been our newest addition, 12 months in the motherfucking band. From Florida to Brooklyn, the Juan Epstein of the band, Mr. Derek Cruz on everything. All right, all the way in the back, he comes from St. Louis, Missouri, and I've said this many times that that's the home state of Chuck Berry. But I know for a fact he doesn't have cameras in his toilets like Chuck does. I don't think he can afford them right now.
I hope not.
But you know what? This guy, for many months, when we go into a restaurant, we sit down and we order food, and he's the fuck that always gets that free dessert because he says it's his birthday. It's my birthday! If you go on Facebox, you'll see many photos of this guy with a lot of cakes. If you want your cake, you want to eat it too. Ty Smith on the fucking drums. What are you gonna do? We got a guy with a camera, no cameras. Everybody's got a camera on their toothbrush, on their phone. I was on a train with some Japanese girl. She had her whole record collection on a Hello Kitty nail clipper. And the only thing I liked about it is that my record, Glitter in the Gutter, my nose looks smaller. Well, it's been a long time that I know this guy over here with the vest and, you know, the moves and the tattoos. We grew up on Avenue A and 7th Street. We were a bunch of kids that really didn't fit in anywhere, so we all ended up, 50 of us, from all the boroughs in New York, hanging out on a corner by Tompkins Square Park. A lot of people say, I'm on Thompson Square Park, but it's Tompkins. And this is about 1980, when if you're into punk rock, you got beat up because they figured you were a heroin addict, you killed your girlfriend, you're homosexual. It wasn't like Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41, Hello, Plays. It was very different. This guy started Agnostic Front. They were a band that started up in New York. Our friend Vinny Stigma, who is the lead guitarist of Agnostic Front to this day, he went up to Buffalo. Anyway, he started Warzone, Mr. Todd Youth. Then he joined, hold up, then he joined this band that I had. We had this really fruity band called Degeneration. We made a lot of money and sold a couple of records, but we had a lot of fun. And Todd joined on the last tour. And this is about the time my father called me up and said, why don't you fucking work for the post office? Get a job with a pension. What's with those fucking shoes? Those shoes. I'm like, I'm wearing creepers, Dad. Creepers, they look like Rain Man shoes. What are you, an orthopedic fucking retard? My dad's from the Bronx. He's like, those fucking shoes. I'm like, your boy Elvis wore them, Dad. They're creepers, brothel creepers. Well, Todd put on the creepers, he jumped on stage with us, we did a tour, and then we broke up. And I didn't talk to this guy for like 7 years because he was living in Los Angeles. Don't squat, it's not good for the bowels. He was living in Los Angeles, and when you're a New Yorkino, you don't talk to your friend. If he moves to LA, you're like, fuck him, he's probably sober. He was also working with the devil. The fucking devil. When your friend works with the devil, you don't talk to him. He was playing with Glenn Danzig. It's a good gig, right? You know, steroids, he didn't do them. I don't think. Then he went from Glenn Campbell to Glenn Danzig and back within a week. That's like a B movie, Glenn or Glenda. And then I met him in a bar in New York. He was playing with Ace Frehley, and I had to come out because I'm a closet Kiss fan. He was playing with Ace at the Nokia Theater. We hooked up in a bar called Jimmy's Corner. And they put this whole fucking band together. So he's the MD, the musical dictator. The MD. Let's give it up for my best friend